Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. Roman Reigns and the Usos are about to enter Survivor Series War Games in a huge match against the Bloodline. However, they have been warned about a major betrayal as well. It appears that before they face Solo Sikoa, a WWE Hall of Famer believes that they have more things to worry about they need to deal with. As Roman Reigns prepares to face Solo Sikoa's Bloodline team at War Games, he already has 3 of his allies. He will be teaming up with Sami Zayn, as well as Jimmy and Uso. The team came together last week on SmackDown after Zayn came out to help them and chose to attack Solo Sikoa, instead of allying with him as the Bloodline leader had expected. Now, Rikishi has sent the Usos and Reigns a warning. Rikishi, though, does not completely trust Sami Zayn despite him teaming with Roman Reigns and saving him. In fact, on his Off the Top podcast, when asked about any advice that he had for his sons and Reigns, he asked them to not trust Sami Zayn. Don't trust Sami Zayn. Don't trust him. Sami Zayn. 31:34-31:41. Sami Zayn's loyalties are under fire. Before teaming with Roman Reigns, there was a lot of hesitation about Sami Zayn as he was added to the War Games team. Not only did Reigns not like his demands, but there was suspicion surrounding him beforehand as well. The star was approached by Sikoa backstage and was seen speaking to him by Jimmy and Uso. Now, it remains to be seen how things work out at War Games, but Rikishi is of the belief that the star can't be trusted going forward. What happens at the show will finally determine the former honorary Usos' true loyalties. As the countdown to WWE Survivor Series intensifies, the wrestling world finds itself embroiled in speculation, intrigue, and brewing rivalries. Amidst the chaos, a WWE Hall of Famer has thrown gasoline on the fire, issuing a chilling warning to Roman Reigns and the Usos, Jimmy and Uso. The foreboding message has sent shockwaves through the WWE universe, hinting at a seismic betrayal that could dismantle the Bloodline's foundation. A night to remember it all began during a special episode of Friday Night SmackDown, where Roman Reigns stood in the ring, flanked by Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman. The tribal chief exuded his usual aura of dominance, addressing his upcoming match at Survivor Series. Survivor Series will be just another chapter in the legacy of the greatest dynasty in WWE history, Roman declared, his voice laced with confidence. Jimmy, you know where you stand. Solo, you're my enforcer. And Paul, you just keep doing what you do best. The words carried the weight of authority, but there was an undeniable tension in the air. Rumors of dissent within the Bloodline had been circulating for months, and the cracks were starting to show. Jimmy and Uso exchanged glances, their loyalty visibly tested. Then, the moment happened. The Titantron lit up, revealing WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi in a pre-recorded segment. Rikishi's warning Roman, Jimmy, listen carefully, Rikishi began, his tone stern and deliberate. I've been watching everything unfold from the sidelines, and it's time someone speaks the truth. The Bloodline was built on family, respect, and trust. But right now, it's on the verge of collapse. The audience erupted in cheers and gasps as Rikishi leaned closer to the camera. I know all of you better than you know yourselves. Jimmy, you've always been the one to follow orders, but you're questioning them now, aren't you? You've always wanted to lead, but leadership comes with consequences. And Roman, your reign has been built on manipulation and fear. That only lasts so long. Rikishi's words cut deep. The camera panned to Roman, whose face remained stoic, though his clenched jaw betrayed his anger. The Usos, however, looked visibly shaken, their father's words clearly striking a nerve. And here's my warning, Rikishi continued. A huge betrayal is coming. It's inevitable. One of you will pull the trigger, and when it happens, the Bloodline will crumble. The question is, who's going to betray whom first? The fallout the broadcast cut back to the arena, where the crowd was chanting Rikishi's name. Roman grabbed the microphone, his voice laced with fury. Rikishi, You don't get to sit at home and play family therapist." Roman roared. "This is my island, my dynasty, and you're just a relic of the past." Despite his bravado, Roman's eyes betrayed a hint of unease. He turned to Jimmy and Jay, pointing a finger at them. "You two better get your heads straight before Survivor Series," Roman warned. "Because if there's any betrayal, there will be consequences." Jimmy stepped forward, his usual laid-back demeanor replaced by defiance. "With all due respect, Usos, maybe it's time you look in the mirror. We've been loyal, but loyalty's a two-way street." The tension was palpable. Paul Heyman, sensing the escalating situation, whispered urgently in Roman's ear, but the tribal chief brushed him off. Speculation runs wild in the days following Rikishi's warning. WWE's social media platforms were ablaze with speculation. Fans debated endlessly about who would betray whom at Survivor Series. Would it be Jimmy, frustrated by Roman's authoritarian rule? Or Jay, still reeling from his tumultuous past with the tribal chief? Could Solo Sikoa, the seemingly stoic enforcer, shock everyone with a coup? Adding to the intrigue, Rikishi appeared on WWE's The Bump, where he refused to clarify his comments but hinted at deeper fractures within the family. "All I'll say is this: Survivor Series is going to be unforgettable," Rikishi said with a cryptic smile. Survivor Series Showdown. The night of Survivor Series arrived, and the anticipation was electric. The main event featured the Bloodline, Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, and Solo Sikoa, teaming up in a traditional 4-on-4 Survivor Series match against a formidable team led by Seth Rollins. As the match progressed, it became evident that Rikishi's warning loomed over the Bloodline like a dark cloud. Miscommunications between Jimmy and Jay led to costly mistakes, while Solo seemed increasingly hesitant to follow Roman's orders. The turning point came when Roman demanded Jay tag out, berating him for not pulling his weight. Jay hesitated, his frustration boiling over. "You think you're the only one who matters, Roman?" Jay shouted, loud enough for the cameras to pick up. Roman slapped Jay across the face, a shocking display that stunned the crowd into silence. But Jay's response was even more shocking. He superkicked Roman, knocking him to the mat. The betrayal unfolds. The arena erupted in chaos as Jay stood over Roman, his expression a mix of anger and liberation. Jimmy, torn between his brother and his cousin, hesitated before stepping to Jay's side. Solo, caught in the middle, looked back and forth between the fallen Roman and the defiant Usos. The crowd chanted, "USO! USO!" As Solo made his decision. He stood with Jay and Jimmy. Paul Heyman, on the outside of the ring, clutched his head in despair, yelling, "This wasn't supposed to happen." The betrayal was complete. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, lay alone in the ring, abandoned by the very family that had helped him build his empire. Rikishi's prophecy fulfilled backstage. Rikishi was shown watching the match on a monitor, a knowing look on his face. When approached by a WWE interviewer, he simply said, "I warned them. Family is everything, but respect is earned, not demanded." Aftermath. The fallout from Survivor Series sent shockwaves through WWE. The Bloodline was officially shattered, and the battle lines were drawn. Jay and Jimmy, now united, declared their intention to carve their own path in WWE. Roman, meanwhile, was left to pick up the pieces of his crumbling dynasty. In a rare post-match interview, he vowed revenge. "This isn't over," Roman growled. "The Bloodline may be broken, but I'm still the head of the table. And I'll make them all pay." Conclusion. Rikishi's warning proved prophetic, setting the stage for one of the most dramatic Survivor Series in WWE history. The betrayal within the Bloodline not only delivered unforgettable moments, but also reshaped the landscape of WWE moving forward. As the dust settles, one thing is certain: family may be forever, but in the ruthless world of WWE, betrayal is always just a heartbeat away.